Bonjour, mes amis, and welcome to Coco's Kitchen with the afternoon macaroon. I'm Coco, and today we're going to be making probably one of my staple foods that I eat throughout the week. Definitely my lunch 3 days out of the week, which is going to be a beautiful personal pan frittata. Look at this cute little personal pan. Woo. It ends so fast, so easy, so delicious, so filling. And the great part is you can use tidbits that you have left over in the refrigerator to make something new and delicious and healthy and filling and buttery. Let's get to it.
So for this recipe, we're going to start with onions, butter, tomatoes, spinach, eggs, milk, and of course, cheese.
I will link in the description where I got this little tiny personal pan. I use Loge, and I actually really like their cast iron. I use it for all of my cast iron and actually all of my enameled cast iron as well. So I know a lot of people out there have very strong opinions on enameled cast iron and which brands are the best and which brands are worth add another zero onto the end of the cost. But I have been a loyal Loge connoisseur for about 10 years now. And I have to say, I love them. I think they're incredible. I use Vital Farm eggs, so they're a little smaller than your standard American eggs, which are going to be quite large. But I also have something that my husband thinks is a complete waste of money, but brings me joy, which is a little ceramic egg holder. So I take them out and put them in the refrigerator like this. And I do it because I can see how many eggs I have, and I just think it's cuter.
So we'll start this recipe off by turning on our stove top and placing our pan with a little bit of butter on it. You're going to throw your onions in there and saute just over medium-high heat. While those are getting nice and caramelized, we are going to chop our tomatoes, just bite-size here, and we'll add those to the pan with the onions, give it a good stir, a little salt and pepper. We can add in then our spinach, and then finally we'll get our egg mixture ready. So I'm using 2 eggs for this frittata, but you can definitely use 3 if you want a little bit heftier of a meal. So you're just going to put both eggs directly into a food processor or blender, add a little bit of milk or half and half, whatever you have, just to add a little creamy texture. And then I put some Tony Chachere's because you can take the girl out of New Orleans, but not New Orleans out of the girl. Lid on, and so this is just eggs, milk, and a little bit of spice, and you're just going to blend that until it is nice and smooth. Just really emulsifies everything together and make sure you're going to have a nice, rich, creamy, and smooth frittata. We'll take everything off of the heat then once everything has sauteed and add in our eggs off the heat. And we'll just give that a quick stir to make sure all of the veggies are evenly distributed around, and then add our cheese on top if you are using cheese. I happen to have some, so I always think, why not cheese? Then we'll add a few little bits of butter on top. These are just shavings really to give it a nice sheen, and it'll melt evenly over the top and just give the frittata a beautiful golden buttery finish to it. Then straight into the oven at 375 degrees. Actually cook that for about 10 minutes. Just watch for the top. That cheese is going to start getting golden brown, and you'll see it's kind of releasing from the edges, and you'll know it's done. So we can set ourselves up for a beautiful lunch. I'm having my frittata with a little bit of caramelized fig and onion tart. The recipe for that can be found right up here if you want to create this beautiful lunch all by yourself. And of course, I always am one to carry hot sauce in my bag, just like Beyonce. And I like to put a little bit of this amazing truffle infused hot sauce, or a lot, over my eggs and have a little bit of extra kick and umami to my eggs. It's a beautiful color as well. And of course, we eat with our eyes before we eat with our palate. It's part and a component to that, and I just absolutely love this hot sauce. I will link it in the description if you guys haven't tried it. It's from Santa Barbara and it's delicious.
It's so good, and it's so simple. This is why it's one of my everyday meals. What's so great about frittatas is it's like literally whatever you have in your refrigerator. You don't have to add cheese. You could add multiple different types of cheeses. I like to keep frozen spinach in my freezer at pretty much all times because it's just so great to be able to grab a handful and add it to whatever I'm making, soups or eggs. It just reduces so beautifully into. I happen to have some tomatoes, so I threw those in there, but it is a completely blank canvas for you. You can go any direction you want and utilize a couple of leftovers that you have in the fridge. Thank you so much for joining us on this week's food edition of the Afternoon Macaron, where you post new videos every Tuesday that center around food and new videos every Friday that center around personal healing and wellness. Like and subscribe to this channel below. All of the recipes are also posted in the link in the description, so you'll be able to follow along and have the video as reference. I'm Coco, and until next time, bon appetit!